Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Christmas Movie Club podcast. I am joined here by two lovely elves.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So we are recording straight from the North Pole today.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
And I'm joined here by...
Light up Lauren.
And Candy Cane Christine.
Yep.
Here we are.
And I'm Tinsel Tim. We are...
Tiny Tim. You should be Tiny Tim.
I like that. You know what?
Christmas Carol.
The first episode, I'm going to change my name.
To Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
I'm now Tiny Tim, recording from the bottom of a well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Having a really good time.
Lauren the first Noel.
I'm going to stick with Candy Cane Christine.
I
I
think that's
like
good.
it.
Yeah.
It has a nice ring to
I
it.
think that's the best
tasty.
one by far.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
You're the one
mine's
that
a
got the
stretch.
alliteration.
Yeah.
So, this podcast, if you've stumbled upon it somehow,
The dark
I feel
corner.
sorry for you if
Yeah.
you've stumbled upon it. This podcast is a little bit different. A lot of podcasts talk about movies that are good, and they talk about... And you know what? Every movie has its redeemable moments. However,
Absolutely.
However, this podcast is all about taking the Christmas movies that, like, every single year, there's, like, hundreds of Christmas movies that never make it to the big office, the big box.
The big box office. Yep.
The big guy.
Big
The big
office
guys,
with
yeah.
Joe Biden.
Yep.
The Oval Office.
They don't make it to the Oval Office.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about here is the movies that are maybe on Lifetime, maybe on our
Tubi?
friends Tubi. Yep, Tubi.
Mm-hmm. What's the other one? Crackle?
Crackle.
Crackle?
Maybe you're stealing someone's Discovery Plus password.
Mm-hmm.
Hulu, maybe. Hulu's a bit more selective. However,
Yeah.
we're talking about the movie today, the 2017 straight to TV
Yes.
movie called Snowmance.
And man, was it special? Snowmance was like no other. Actually was unique.
It wasn't that bad.
And it wasn't that
I kind
bad.
of enjoyed. I was invested. I felt
Yeah.
invested in the characters.
Yeah, I got into it.
That's what I find when I watch a lot of these straight to like TV or DVD Christmas movies. Like, you know, they're kind of corny and low budget, but somehow like halfway through you're like, I gotta find out what happens here. Like, I
Yeah.
have to know. Like in the first 5 minutes of the movie, I knew exactly what was gonna happen, but I was still like wanting to see what happened.
I didn't know at the beginning. I don't know if we're just getting into it, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I
get
didn't
into
know in the beginning.
Get risky.
I thought like she was gonna get her dream guy, obviously, but I didn't
But-
think it was gonna be Cole, the snowman. Like I didn't think he was gonna become like it's like Frosty the Snowman, basically this movie, but like
Right.
an adult real life take, like a adult version of Frosty, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he doesn't stay a snowman. He becomes a real man.
Full-fleshed man.
Yeah.
I didn't see that part coming. I mean, I knew how it was going to end. We all
Right.
knew how it was going to end. But I didn't see that part
Yeah, I
coming.
didn't
Yeah.
see the like Cole was the puppet master.
Right.
Yeah,
he
that
was.
too. Yeah.
So
But
Why don't
get
we
to
give
that.
a little background so people know what we're talking about?
let's start from the beginning.
The puppet master, like, who the fuck is
Who are
Cole?
these people?
Yeah, whenever you say puppet master, I'm always like, oh, this movie's gonna be fucking
All
crazy.
right. So,
yeah.
all right, correct me if I'm wrong, if I skip anything. So in the beginning, you see this sweet little preteen girl, right? Her name is
With butterfly
Sarah.
clips.
Yep.
Yep. And she makes a snowman, and she pretends that it's her crush, Dean Papadopoulos.
Yeah. Greek guy.
A
They
sexy
really took
Greek.
a long time.
Yeah. And she, you know, she's about to kiss the snowman, pretending that it's her crush, Dean. He sees it. It's embarrassing. They make fun of her, knock the snowman down. Then her friend, Nick, yeah, he sees, you know, that she's hurting and he likes her and he just wants her to be happy and it's really cute. And he helps her make a new snowman. And then they take a picture with a disposable camera Because what year was
'Cause it's
this?
18
And I'm gonna
years.
add
So it was like
a
2000 or 2001?
18 years
Yeah.
from 2017.
Okay.
And a key part of this is like while they're building the snowman, he has her describe the traits of what this guy in real life
Yes.
that she would want to would have.
Yes.
And
So
like
it's
the whole time,
adventurous and romantic and all these stereotypical.
and like the whole time,
traits.
even in like the first 5 minutes, you're like, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
The guy,
Right.
he's right in front of you.
Right, he
Yeah.
even says, and I wrote it down,
Sarah.
he's like, everything is right in front of you. I forgot.
Yeah, she
Anyway,
like takes his hat
Yeah.
off and puts it on a snowman, and like, he's like, this is humiliating.
yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
here for you as
Right,
a
'cause
friend.
he
Like,
loves
they're,
You
they're
knew-
best friends.
Friend zoned right from
Right
the
from the
beginning.
beginning. So then they do this every year on my birthday, December 12th, which I think there's symbolism as to why they chose that date. But we can talk about that later.
Ooh, you're gonna do a
Okay.
deep dive into
I'm going to
the
go into the deep
the-
dive of 12
the
12.
ethos
Sagittarius.
behind snow.
So they do that for, was it 20 years?
20
He helps her build this,
long,
yeah,
pathetic years.
long, oh, he must
Leave
have had
town.
really bad
They make
blue
like
balls.
a punk snowman,
Blue snowballs.
Oh yeah, they make a punk
punk
snowman.
snowman, a hipster snowman, flannel guy snowman.
Yeah.
Like they just really cover every base.
And what's interesting is that every year you see the technology change with the cameras. Like it starts out with a disposable camera, then it's like a crappy cell phone, and then by the end it's an iPad.
But
right?
the best part about the iPad is they show the picture. And it's not even on a fucking screen. It's a printed out piece of paper of a picture, like resting on the iPad.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know
was-
why they had to do that. Why couldn't they have just shown a real iPad?
I don't know.
Maybe just the reflection. It wasn't like working out.
That's one of
I
those
don't know.
classic things where someone's like, I don't think people are going to be able to tell what that is. So they like put a, double-sided tape.
Yeah, that was
picture.
a weird choice, but
Do you
Yeah.
think it was like the glare
that's what that was my
of
thought.
like
That
screen?
They couldn't get the lighting right.
Minneapolis glare.
Yeah, this was a
Twin
low
City
budget
glare.
movie.
Yeah.
So as
Okay.
as you can imagine, they
He has blue balls. Anyways,
18 long.
Years of
of blue balls.
He's a cartoonist.
You need to remind me. So what happened leading up to the snowman? Like the eyes went sparkly at one
yeah,
point.
like they make a wish.
Oh well,
Oh,
no, she
okay.
goes to.
Oh.
It's all. They're all grown up
It
now.
fast forwards.
Okay, so
And
fast
now
forward
she
20
goes
years
to
later.
Quaint Paul Furnishes,
which is her dad's shop.
It's her dad's shop, and there's this
Mm-hmm.
old guy Herb, and you described him as
I wrote notes and all I had was grunting assistant in my notes, which is true. He didn't say one word at all. She took a broom from him at one point to help him out, and like,
I feel like
Pat
Herb's
him
not
on the
even on
back.
payroll anymore.
yeah.
Why do you think that it was
He's a
important
volunteer
for him
there.
to be there? Like, why do you think the people making this movie were like, we got to have this old guy who
Like
doesn't
Herb
speak?
is the
Well,
assistant.
I think it's because that guy, her father, was a widow, and so Herb's probably his best friend.
Like,
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
and he's helping him out. Like, shows he's not completely alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he's making do,
Yeah.
and they have a sign on the back that says Gasoline Alley.
I noticed that, yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
So yeah, so fast
Okay.
forward.
Yeah, you have to take it over. For some
Oh,
reason,
yeah.
I'm blanking
So-
on why.
They go to the Quaint Paul Furniture.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's complaining how like she had just broken up with her boyfriend. The
Right.
father is like, you did it again.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere he turns towards the camera, and there looks to be like a school desk where he pulls it up. I don't know what it is, to be honest. He's like patting
A
it
wooden
and like
thing.
he's
that you
patting.
build.
I'm guessing it's like a chest of memories.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, so perfect timing, he opens this up, and in it is the mother's scarf.
Right.
And he tells a story about how he wished, when he went to visit Paris, he wished that he would meet the woman of his dreams. And right then and there, he met
He saw a red scarf amongst the black and grays in Paris, and he just knew that was the one. So the daughter has been fixated on this story her whole life.
Love.
She's just been fucking stuck to this idea of like her parents' love story. Like, she doesn't understand real love. This girl's gotta be like 35. She's never had like a real relationship. She keeps, after the whirlwind dies, she keeps like breaking up with them because she's just like,
she's
you're not the
obsessed
one.
with the puppy love feeling. Like once the oxytocin wears off.
Right.
How has she not held a relationship ever through December?
Yeah. She's been,
And like everyone in the town's like, again?
Yeah, they make the snowman every year. 20 years of snowman because she's still single.
And it's so important that Nick has a framed picture. Nothing in his apartment. He's got cactuses, garland.
Nick is her friend.
Yes.
Yeah, the best friend.
Her best friend.
The blue balls guy.
He's a
the one with blue
cartoonist. As I would
Yeah,
imagine.
and he's a cartoonist. So basically, she gets the scarf, the mother's scarf, and he's like, "You get the red scarf." Like, so whatever.
It's actually a very well done scene. They actually did pull.
They did a decent job with it. Then what? It fast forwards to her being in Nick, her best friend's apartment, and she gives him a gift of like, because he's like, work's not really coming around because he's a cartoonist, and like he's kind of down on his luck, and she hands him an envelope, and she works for the Twin Cities Life.
That's it. Like, Twin Cities Life. I think that's what it says.
Like news magazine or something, and she's like, "I got you. I talked to my job and my boss, and I got you this job, like to be the cartoonist for like an article." So he was just like, "Oh my god, you did this for me," and so yeah, they go.
We're missing a major point here.
Okay.
They build the snowman with the scarf. And the scarf is and all of a sudden the camera pans up to the sky. And we're guessing
this Christmas.
G-O-D is the one.
The G-O-D.
Yeah.
The god dog.
He's looking down.
And he says... He's the one that makes this wish happen.
Christmas miracle.
And before that, one other thing too was she goes to her boss's office and is like, "I love travel. I want to write the travel story." And her boss is like, "Fuck you," basically.
She's like, "Stick to what you know. Like, you haven't left the city limits
your
your whole
homebody.
life." Like, apparently she never gone to any vacation or something outside of the city. It's very
20
sad. 20 years. Poor girl. But yeah, so she's like, "Stick to what you know," basically. Like, we don't need a travel section in this magazine. Like, that's not the Twin Cities Life.
Seriously, no one in that town leaves.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it seems.
So because they built a snowman with the red scarf,
yes, Nick and her,
then everything starts to go up. So then all of a sudden, the boss is like, "I really liked your friend's work."
We're skipping another part. The next day,
this is a complex movie.
The next day,
our guy shows up. She gets a knock at the door in the morning, and some beautiful man in a flannel shirt shows up at her front door with the red scarf, and his name is Cole, which is the name of the snowman that they make every year together.
Right.
What are the odds? And he's holding the red scarf, and he's like, "Oh, I just happened to be walking by, and I saw the scarf, thought I should bring it to you." And she's like, "Oh my god."
Because she wakes up in the morning, she's like, "Someone demolished my fucking snowman."
Oh yeah, she woke up in the middle of the night too, like all upset, like before this happened, and she was wearing a bathrobe to bed, which was weird.
Oh yeah, I actually wrote down here, have you ever slept with a framed picture in your bed?
Personally, no, but there are strange people
Maybe a
out there
picture
who might
taped
do
like
it.
near my bed, but not framed in my bed.
No, if I did that, I wake up with bloody marks from the glass breaking.
Not pretty.
Yeah.
So
Cole
appears, and she's taken with him. Just
immediately.
I mean, if you think about it in a way, she kind of like cast a spell. If you think about it, all the steps that they did or like spell casting.
Yeah.
That was magic.
So she's a Christmas witch. Basically.
Like she vocalized it, she imagined it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So like an incantation.
Yeah.
And the fucking sparkly
It was
coal
kind of like the
eyes.
law of attraction. Like everything she had said and put out there,
Her
she
mantra.
ended up like getting.
Mm-hmm. Oh fuck! I just thought of something. It wasn't God.
No.
It's the mother
Oh, you
Well, really?
in the Twinkling Star.
But
The mother's looking out for her.
the mother's
Oh, it
dead.
could
I don't
be.
know if we said that yet. I don't think we did, but we find out
It
the
could
mother
be the
died like
mother.
10 years before this.
could be the divine mother.
She's the puppet master.
I didn't even think about the mom.
Yeah, I didn't.
I just
Because it
thought
all happened with a scarf.
right. I just thought that
Right,
the
the
scarf
mom's
was like
scarf.
magical and this magical item.
Yeah. The
But that's a good
spirit of
point.
the scarf.
Yeah.
It represented
The
her
love,
dream,
true
the
love.
whisking away to Paris, the romance whirlwind.
So
I don't
Cole
know.
appears
Yeah.
and he literally asks her out on a date. She has curlers in her hair.
And a zit
A
cream.
zit.
She didn't even have a zit, but she
Yeah.
had zit cream on her face,
And he wipes it away
off.
with his hand. Like, she's never met the guy,
Yeah.
and he takes his fucking thumb and, like, rubs her zit cream off. I was like,
And he goes to
Ew.
shake her hand and he's like, sorry, cold fingertips.
he has Raynaud's disease.
He might ring
Yeah.
the orders.
So then she goes to the office, right? He said, "Let's have lunch at noon."
Yeah,
Yep.
and then
Right.
they meet up for the business job.
Yep. And then she has the meeting with her and Nick and
Right, 'cause
Amanda
they're doing
Green,
the Christmas thing
the
together.
manager.
Amanda Green.
Amanda Green
Oh,
was her
that
name.
is her name.
That was her
Oh
name.
my God.
I saw that on her thing.
Okay, so we have Amanda Green, we have Nick, Saint
Yeah.
Nick, Cole, the snowman, Cole.
Sarah, like Ra, the god of sun.
Wow, we're going deep.
Yeah, that's
Sarah.
So Amanda Green, the manager, gives them an assignment. So Nick will do the illustrations, and what's her face, Sarah, will do the writing, and they're going to be like a team. They're like, oh, let's meet up for dinner
for a Christmas
tonight.
article. Yeah.
for the article. Then she goes on her first date at lunch with Cole, and
During work.
during work, yes.
Which is just
And he rolls up
he rolls up, trots up.
with his horse and carriage,
The
and
whole
it's
staff is outside.
yeah. I mean, he
Yeah.
was love bombing her. The whole thing. I was mad at this guy actually
Yeah.
for most of it. Totally love bombing her, but at the same time, it's like this is the person she wished for. So clearly, she didn't see him as like some creepy guy
Right,
because
she-
he met all of her criteria.
Yeah, she
that
had like the
put out.
emotional intelligence of like a 14-year-old
Yes.
kind of. Like, because she
Yeah.
had never had a real anything. Like, she's just like in the clouds. And so the horse and carriage really was just the grand entrance for him.
Then they go to dinner
Yeah.
and they put what was on his plate? It was
Plate.
carrots
Yeah.
and
Asparagus. and, like,
asparagus
chicken.
maybe, but he was like he had this like aversion to the carrots. He's like really uncomfortable. It was the carrots were clearly triggering him.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of like he probably saw his like relatives.
Right,
there,
right.
like-
Yeah,
It's
the
like that's my
nose.
nose I'm
Yeah.
about to eat. What happened after the dinner?
And he was always like, is it hot in here? Or am I just
Right.
nervous? So, like, he gets heated up really easily.
That's when the audience realizes that.
Yeah,
Like
the
he
carrots
has to
is
be a
a
snowman.
and the heat, you're like, Cole, snowman. Like,
And he keeps making all these like comments that are clearly like what a snowman would say.
right.
Like, what did he say?
Oh, and then he's traveled. Like, that was his job. He also had the perfect job that she wanted. He
Extreme
did, like,
travel.
extreme traveling. Like, he went to, like, every country, the most dangerous parts of the world, and, like, took people through a tour. He said he's gone all over the world. He doesn't have a real address.
Right, and then but he said he was shaped in Minnesota
Right.
because like that's where they literally shaped
Yeah.
his
Yeah, because
snowballs.
he says like, he's like, but you know what's funny though? He was like, I don't really get around that often, but he does extreme traveling.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
but if you're snow, like
He
you
melts.
come down and you're stationary for a little bit, then you melt.
some
Okay.
other
And
person
then, you
makes
know.
you.
Because I did
Then
right
you're
here,
shaped
snowmen don't have feet.
But they go back up into the sky and come back
and
down.
so they went to like.
Right.
So he traveled everywhere.
That's true. I didn't even think about that part.
So after the date, remind me what
I don't even
they.
know.
Well,
if
they
I
go back
remember.
to-
Oh no!
office,
They're
I
like
think.
the boss is like that's an awesome idea. I see what's going on here.
Right.
You want to get like these two lovebirds and trap see them around Minneapolis, and then they're like you and the elk jerky girl.
Isabel was her name.
Isabel. Good.
Who's like
pickup.
the desk secretary girl at the
I don't
office?
know.
That
I don't
Sarah's
really know what
friends
she
with.
did.
I thought
She was
the
was she a
accountant.
secretary?
She
Art
was like at
director.
the front desk.
I feel like
or
she never did
something.
anything.
Yeah, she really didn't, except like talk about her elk jerky and like pick up a crossbow at some point.
But let's not mention that she brought the crossbow into the building.
Yeah,
And
like
everyone
you
was
wouldn't get
like-
arrested
Everyone
for
was
that.
fine with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, hey, I'll
totally
see you.
normal.
It's Minnesota.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
So they're like, oh, you should go and like chronicle this. So it's Nick, Elk, and
Isabel. Yeah.
Isabel.
Elkabel,
Sarah
Sarah, the main character.
and Cole.
Cole.
So then they all go like around
Ice skating
skating,
first. Yeah.
and it's at a river,
Yeah, it's at a river.
a real location.
And that's their first like activity to document and whatever. And Cole's just like saying all these canned things. Like Cole's got no soul. Cole got no soul. He doesn't. He's just like she's like, you've never been skating here, like in your from here, and he's like, oh, well, now I get to skate with you here, and like everything he says is like that.
Corny.
That's where I started to get
tacky.
I started to get
Yeah.
like Dirty John vibes. If the one listener is what's Dirty John? Dirty John is like a real life story about like a doctor who lied because he's not a doctor. He was like a drug addict, convict, and he like abused this woman for like love, money, power, all this shit. And Cole
came out of nowhere.
Cole's a Dirty John.
Yeah.
Because he was very vague and really like.
Yeah, she doesn't know shit about
Did
him.
he
and
do
she-
anything bad though?
Oh, yeah.
What did he
Dirty
do?
John?
No, this guy, Cole. I'm like, what's wrong with all of that?
Cole didn't do anything like bad. He just like
He came off a certain way.
came on real strong.
Yes.
Yes.
They had 2 first dates the first time they met, like twice in one day. Now, like, he's kind of like shunning her best friend of 20 years. Like, he calls Nick Little Man, which is
Little
super
guy,
condescending.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Little man.
so, yeah, while they're out skating, Sarah and Cole and Nick's sitting back with the jerky girl, and they're talking, and she's like, oh, how long have you loved her? And he's like, what? And she's like, it's so obvious, which it is. Like, it's fucking stupid that the main character, like Sarah, hasn't somehow figured it out over 20 years that her best friend
I know, they're
is
like
in love with her.
they're
It's
like
pretty
sitting on the
obvious.
couch, touching knees, and like
Flirting.
She flirts the
Yeah.
hell out of him. Yeah, and anyway.
he's gonna take a
So,
lot
yeah,
of
they
cold
go-
showers when.
Oh yeah.
I'll be right back.
So they go ice skating, and then what? After the ice skating, they go back to the office. Basically, then the next assignment is they go to build snow sculpting.
Oh
and
right.
Cole gets real weird about this one.
Yeah,
He
this is where
gets
his
really
real side
excited.
starts to show. Like
Yeah.
his manic personality.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I got it. It's all good. This is my first time. And then he's like, he looks like maybe he's at like a bump.
Maybe he tries to do things in a rush because he's gonna melt soon. So there's like a time frame. He needs to rush and get things done.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Just saying.
That's possible. Didn't think about that.
Remember when he got all sweaty and he's like, and he like rips off his shirt.
Oh, yeah.
They're like at a fire roasting marshmallows, and he starts unbuttoning. He's like, "Is it hot in here?" He's like fanning himself, and he like whips his shirt. Of course, he's like jacked. Already.
Yeah.
And they're all like, "Ooh, cool."
Ooh.
And it was weird.
And also, like, basically this whole time, Nick is very jealous
Yeah.
of the dynamic between
Right.
Sarah and Cole.
He's like sitting there,
Rightfully so.
grumpy,
Like,
drawing.
pouting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like,
he's drawing on his iPad all the time, and it's always like him off in a snow, like Nick off in a snow pile, like a cartoon version of him like crying, and then like Sarah and Cole like doing something like ice skating together, and
yeah, like
Nick's
this,
off on the side,
the
like
scene
just
of them
like.
I
getting
felt
the
bad
snow
for him.
angels.
Oh, I felt
did
very
too.
bad for him.
Poor baby.
I can't believe he stuck around as long as he did. Honestly,
He could have been on Tinder,
Hinge.
Bumble, Hinge,
Yeah.
Grinder.
Yeah. I
Nick
mean,
Could have been on.
Nick seems like a Bumble guy to me.
Yeah, he had Bumble,
Bumble
written all
vibes.
over him.
Like he's a soft cartoonist
Yeah.
who like
he had a leather messenger bag. Like,
yeah.
He was really sweet.
And like the only plants he has in his house is like cactuses because he doesn't have to take care of them. And he uses. I wrote this down. He used like you can tell a lot by like what kind of coffee drinker someone is, and he just drinks K cups.
Oh, really?
So like,
What does that mean about someone?
I think K cups is like
He has
I
no-
don't have time
he doesn't
to.
have taste either. I mean, he's been chasing this girl for 20
Does he have, like,
years. Like, who
McCafe?
has been like.
McCafe.
Hey, I like McCafe.
I like McCafe too. Jesus.
They have very good coffee.
The boss. Really looks like Flo from Progressive.
Yeah, she does.
She
And
did.
she had a very over-the-top Minnesotan accent.
She was the only one who had a Minnesota. These people
Well,
are
the
born
elk
and
girl
bred.
kind of did.
Yeah, maybe
did?
her. But
The elk
Her?
girl.
Oh,
Elk.
But Nick and Sarah,
Isabel.
they're like born and bred Minnesota. Not a hint of an accent.
we've been there for their whole lives. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have liked to see more lines from Herb. That was
Right.
my one qualm with the
That
movie.
bothered you.
Yeah, more Minnesotan. Because I feel like Herb has a very strong Minnesotan
Maybe he
accent.
was a mute.
Shit.
Herb could have been like in a war or something.
Maybe Herb was a snowman too.
Maybe he's Cole's dad.
Oh shit! This is really blowing up.
the lore of
Yeah,
snowmans.
for real.
So blah blah.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, blah blah blah.
They basically they go home, whatever, and Nick is sitting with the dad, and like the dad's pretty supportive, I gotta say. Like,
Yeah.
even though he like sees his like daughter is like straight up like head over heels for someone she has no idea who he is, he's still like, you know, like Nick, like it's been like he's like everyone knows.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you love her.
Like we know, cause she's upstairs having her first fight with Cole. In this part, like later on in the movie, things heat up because Cole got her fucking tickets to Paris for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, they've probably known each other what at this point, 5 days. Couldn't have even have been a week.
Yeah.
And he's like also been talking to people around town about her selling her mother's house that she inherited.
I didn't really understand why that was inserted in there.
Because I guess he wants her to leave. Because she's always like, I've been stuck in Minnesota. So she told him that. And, you know, he's like a big traveler. So he's like, ever thought about selling your parents? Gorgeous, by the way. Gorgeous. Beautiful character-filled home. And, he's like, have you ever thought about... She's like, I couldn't do that. Because, you know, it was her father's house. She's grown up there. She's like, it's the only house I've ever known. You start to see some foreshadowing that she's like, maybe sticking around isn't so bad after
And
all.
who shows up at the first showing? Fucking Dean Papalopoulos.
Oh, right.
All right,
Oh, right. He
Papadopoulos.
surprised her by having her old crush, Dean Papalopoulos, or whatever the fuck his name is. He's a realtor, of course. And she's like, what is he doing here? And Cole's like, I thought I'd surprise you. Like, he could sell your house. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, mind your
Who
business.
the hell
And-
was he
Yeah,
to do
come
any
in.
of that?
I know.
Yeah.
And
just be
Dean
like,
was
you should
like,
sell your
this house is sick. It's a
Yeah.
real estate term. I like that. That was some good
thought that
writing.
was
That was
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, after this, they get in their first quarrel. They go upstairs. Nick's there too, I think, and he's downstairs with the dad talking. Nick's loving it. He's loving that they're having a fight. He's like, oh
yeah.
Mr. Perfect isn't so perfect. And the dad's like, shut up. My daughter is upset. Like, that was the only time you saw the dad, like, go a little bit against Nick. I have to say, though, you see the dad supporting the daughter all the time. He's been really nice to Nick, supportive of him. You never see the dad support Cole. Like, they never, like,
Oh, 'cause
the
I'm
dad
sure he
never has
knows.
a moment where he's like, you seem like a good guy. Like, the dad knew the whole time that Cole was
That's
just like a
because
weirdo.
Herb was a snowman. Herb is
Yeah.
Yeah,
told that.
Herb told him the secret. Cole was like,
I liked how the dad used the word cavalier. He's like, quit being so cavalier, or something
Yeah.
like that. I liked that scene, actually.
yeah,
He was a
like-
little rough, but
It was a good scene.
It was
Well,
deserved.
it
It
gave Nick the swift kick
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
butt
it
to
finally
go.
like got shit in gear because Nick's been like a big puss like this whole
Stop being a
time. Like,
bitch.
for real, like 20 years.
The whole time.
So
Put the stylus down and go get
his
the girl.
blunt
Yeah.
stylus. He's just
Yeah.
even, I was like, "Where's your Apple Pencil?" He's using like the fucking.
He's using the one that I
blunt
voted.
tip.
I voted with that stylus.
So yeah, they're fighting upstairs, and then he's like, "But I want you to come to Paris with me for Christmas." And he's like, "Oh, just leave your job behind for a week. Leave this behind. It doesn't matter." And she's like, "I can't drop everything." And then in this moment, while this is happening upstairs, somehow Nick gets the courage in the same moment downstairs to
Bad
come
timing.
upstairs, bad timing, and tell her finally how he feels. And of course, the moment he gets up there, he walks in on Cole and Sarah kissing. She just said yes to going whisking away to Paris, which just happened to be the same place her parents got together, and it was just all perfect. And Nick got sad. And this is kind of where things I felt like just
The denouement, if I if I may. Denouement.
What's that?
It's a literary term.
Oh,
Oh, is it?
It's
I
when
would say
a,
the turning point,
What's it
but
mean? Is that what it means?
it's when a character hits their turning point of
Okay, I like that.
Alright.
come on.
Say it again.
is it French?
We all took the regions,
that
right?
makes sense.
I don't remember that from
French
the
term,
regions.
Paris. I get it.
Say it again.
Denouement.
Yeah.
Little
So it
more.
must be French.
It has to
So
be.
I passed English regions.
so then
Yo, what happens
what
after?
happened after that again?
What happens after basically? Oh, well, okay.
Well, she kind
gets
of
in the
rejects
car.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets in the car,
Yeah.
and they're like, first of all, Cole doesn't even. All the flashy shit's over. He's
Yeah.
not you're not going to the airport in a horse-drawn carriage. Cole calls an Uber, taxi, or whatever.
Oh, we're skipping ahead to the day they're going to Paris. Like, supposedly. Like, they're going
Yeah.
to Paris
Yeah.
for Christmas. The dad
Because-
says goodbye.
Yeah, he's like, see ya.
He's like, I hope you were going to change your mind, but you didn't. And was just, like, gave her this big speech also in the meantime about how he kind of changes his tune. And he's like, well, you know, your mom and I had this lovely, like, whirlwind. But after that, it didn't last. And she became my best friend. And it's just about, like, who's there for you every day, all the time. And he's just like, I just hope, like, Cole's as supportive and there for you like Nick has been. So then, and then, of course, a package from Nick shows up at the doorstep before she goes to Paris. Like, gets in the car to go to the airport. And he's like, Dad's like, don't forget this, as she's, like, getting in the car.
And there's like an iPad in the package.
Yeah, the present.
She opens it, and like Cole is like not in the car at the moment, and she's like starting to tear up, and then you see what she's looking at, and it's like this okay designed like scrapbook of like all of the drawings, and you'd
Yeah.
think it would be like, oh, it's the drawings of like Cole and Sarah next to each other, but it wasn't. It was about them, Nick
Right.
and Sarah, and you know all these cute, like really cute drawings, like
And their pictures that they took over
Yeah,
the
their
20
actual
years.
pictures.
The actual
Oh,
pictures were in
yeah.
there too. Yep.
that was a really nice touch.
It
Yeah.
was. It was cute.
Yeah, it was cute. And Sarah's crying,
Mm-hmm.
and
Cole's like, what's wrong?
he's like, step on it. And then, so they actually do step on it. They go a little bit, and Sarah is like freaking out. She's like, stop the car. And then she has this whole monologue where she's like, I knew I need to stay here. Something's just telling me it's been right in front of me the whole
Yeah.
time.
And Cole's like, my head's been full of snow. And, like,
Yeah.
that was a good line. And, yeah, of course, Nick comes at that moment running down the sidewalk. Like, his
What's
life
he wearing?
depends on it. And he's wearing her scarf that she left at his house days ago. And
red
he's like,
scarf.
I didn't want you to go to Paris without your mother's scarf.
It's
And
really
wraps around her
sweet.
neck, brushes her hair off of her cheek,
Yeah.
and then she kisses him. And then
The rest
we
is history.
see a nice clip of Cole at the car. And by the way, when she tells Cole all this stuff that she's not going, and he's just like, what did he say? All he said was like, well, if you're going or not, I still have to go. That was like basically his response.
He's like, I can't make you go.
But like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's gonna melt.
Basically
It's like that
it.
Campbell's soup commercial where the kid comes in from playing in the snow and he's like a snowman and he eats the soup and then he melts and it's really a kid underneath it. It's the
Yeah.
reverse of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So you see Cole's face before he gets in the car, and he gives this like knowing smile, and that's when we wondered, was this his plan all along? Was he trying to
Puppet
make her
master.
I think
see
so.
that Nick was always the one, and he never really had the plan because he's a fucking snowman. He's not
Like,
even a real
he
guy.
can't.
Like, they're not having like children together. Like, what are they gonna do? Well, like,
He was
Snowballs.
a mirror to her and them. He was that mirror as to what they needed to work on and what they needed to.
because if snow melts, it turns to water, and you can look at your reflection in the water.
Well, he was like their spiritual mirror, you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn.
we totally forgot the part where Nick and Cole are fighting.
Oh,
yeah.
Where was the park?
In the park.
Halliday Park?
Halliday Park.
Holiday park.
And it said Denver Parks on the sign, and this movie takes place in Minnesota. So I don't know, unless there's
a Denver,
a Denver,
Minnesota.
Minnesota or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole time is that the scene where Cole keeps calling his drawings doodles? He's like, you making a doodle, little man?
I don't know if I caught that part.
I
but
didn't
He
catch
called
that
them
either.
doodles, and it like you could see like Nick was like, oh, no, fuck you up.
I know, like, him calling him little guy seemed condescending, but I
Right.
felt like he said it kind of lovingly.
Yeah, I think it was because
Because he knew.
yeah,
What
he
was
knew
gonna happen.
and they made him when they were little, so I think he viewed him always as like a little kid.
And he's an ancient soul. He's snow. He's
Right.
been around. He's probably thousands of
He's fucking
millions of years
groundwater.
old.
He's in the
Yeah.
clouds.
I
he's
couldn't
like,
believe
Father
it when he
Time.
was
Yeah.
like, he went on the horse-drawn carriage. I couldn't believe it when he was like, drink this, and she's like, what is it? And he's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's an ancient recipe.
Sour hot chocolate. I'm not drinking
He's
ancient
ancient.
hot chocolate. I don't care
I
who
will
tells
only
me.
drink Swiss Miss.
So can I read to you
Swiss Mix.
about the
That's
right.
1212 while it's on my
Swiss
mind?
Miss. Swiss mix. That's like Swiss beats. Swiss mix.
Are you ready for this? I googled it. The 1212 part. That's the day that they always do this.
Oh,
their
yeah.
little
Oh,
magical
oh.
spell on.
Oh, okay.
So I was saying that from a numerological point of view, the 1212 sequence offers people the energy which they need for transforming their relationships
Oh.
as well as connections with other people.
I like that.
Seeing the number and permitting it to be like a simple part of their life will be a message for them from our universe. Also, it reminds people to really make themselves better and also improve the connections they have with others. It is a number of completion, so people have to take it just like it is. In that way, they will build their strong connections with their higher selves. There's like way more here, but I won't read the whole thing.
That's
But I was like, they chose that on purpose.
Yeah.
They could have. It could have been December 14th or the 16th. Why was it 12/12? And I also
Yeah.
felt like they did it on purpose because it's like, again, a mirror, like 12, looking into the mirror and saying 12.
That just made Snowmance.
Right? Remember, I was like,
That
I'm
much
like,
deeper.
I'm judging this from like
But that's
a
like
spiritual perspective.
it's so it just goes to show that some of these movies aren't always just like
They're not.
Yeah,
And also, I
there's
noticed
more
She got dumped and she needs
Right,
to find
right.
Yeah,
like they
there's a
try to add in
real-
stuff.
I mean, there's a real filmmaker here behind
Douglas
this movie.
Mitchell.
That's
Douglas
right.
Mitchell, we might, he doesn't get enough credit probably for the thought. There's probably a lot more nuance than Douglas Mitchell gets credit for in his wonderful movie, Snowmance.
But also the writer was named something Chiapata or something.
okay.
So I don't
We
know
should
what
probably
the
look that
writer's
up.
history is. But then I also noticed Twin Cities 1212. That's like a duplicate.
Oh.
Twin Cities, Twin Flames,
Shit.
Soulmates.
Candy
Oh
Cane
my
Christine.
That's right.
It's more than just red and white.
And then I thought the colors they chose, they would always be
Red.
wearing the same. She'd always be wearing not always, but a lot of the time she'd be wearing the same color as Cole. They would like mirror
Blue,
the colors.
a
A lot of blue. They'd be
my
wearing
God.
blue at the same time. I think a lot more thought went into this movie than like the average person might notice. What else did I notice? Those were like the main things that were clear to me. I'm like, okay, 12-12, twins, Twin City, ha ha ha. It was very magical. It was a magical.
Yeah, definitely. It was a
magical
kind of
movie.
supernatural element.
Oh,
to
I
it.
got another one. I was just listening to a podcast about like esoteric symbolism throughout all storytelling and stuff. And it was saying in life, you're either a master builder or you're somebody who follows blueprints. And I felt like her dad was literally like a builder in this, and she was trying to follow the blueprint of her dad.
Oh,
The same
my
story. She wanted the same exact story as her father. Am I like blowing your mind?
You're acting like you're stoned. You're not. I know. That's why it's
You're
funny.
high on life.
Yeah.
Right though?
But
Like
no,
he
that's
literally
like
was, and then remember
yeah.
at one point she's like in the shop, like
Yes.
doing shit.
Dusting her.
Yeah.
Using the oil.
Dry brush.
Like-
Pretending she's oiling a
But you
table.
didn't need to get me that oil from Italy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But shit, I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And do you think the red meant anything with the scarf? Because it could have been any
It
color.
was
It could have
very
been green.
prominent. Yeah.
It could have been orange. I think the red, probably passion and or like what about like the red thread? Isn't that a thing? The red thread that binds people together. I think it's Chinese or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me Google it.
Okay.
You ever see that online? It's like a red thread.
that
People
sounds
like it'll be around
familiar.
two people's fingers and like the thread kind of ties it
I
together.
hadn't seen that. I just thought people tied strings around their fingers to not forget something.
Hold
while
on,
we were
I'm gonna
looking
look
that
up
I
red
really
thread.
liked that when they were Cole and Nick were fighting. They were like when Nick
I don't know.
knocked over the snowman, Cole was like,
Oh,
Hank, Hank, you okay, Hank?
Oh yeah.
Like, he
Cole
knew the snowman.
He was like, "You're a murderer," because Nick
That was,
knocked
like,
over a
his
snowman.
family.
Yeah, it was like his family member. He was giving Hank a scarf. Like that was how Nick knew. It clicked in his mind. He was at the park drawing a sad drawing, literally sad him.
Yeah.
After he got rejected by Sarah, and there was Cole wrapping a scarf around a random snowman,
that was what he was
talking
talking
to him,
Yeah.
being like, "Hank, oh, this should be good for you,
And then
Hank."
Nick was like,
He's like, "I
There
knew
he is."
something was wrong with him." Then they fought.
so we got any final closing statements on? I almost called it Snowliday. Snowmance.
Well, I have a question that could be a closing. Would you watch it again? And would you recommend it for other people?
Would I watch it again personally? No, because I don't need to. Like, I feel like there's not much more. I'm not someone who watches, unless it's one of my favorite movies, more than once. Or at least, like, I gotta wait. Unless it's, like, a classic, like Home Alone, okay, like, I'll watch that every Christmas, whatever.
Yeah.
This is not a new classic for me. But it was better than I thought it was going to be. I'll say that. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I mean, sure, it had, like, its cheesy trite tropes. But, as we expected. But, she wasn't a terrible actress. Like, the main character. Like,
None
I've
of them
seen
were,
worse.
actually.
Like, yeah, and the Nick too. Like, I've seen much worse.
They were believable.
Yeah, I believe them, and I'm critical of
Yeah.
that. Like, I'm very critical. So,
How about,
yeah.
how about you?
I don't think I would watch it again only because I wrote so many notes about it. I feel like it's permanently ingrained.
Yeah. I'll never forget.
It's not like something I'd be like, you should check this movie out.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't bad though.
Yeah.
Like, if it's on and you happen to be in the mood for it, fine.
Yeah.
I would say go ahead and watch
You've
it.
watched all the classics, and you're like, I need some
got
more
something.
Christmas cheer. What
Right.
What is
I think
there?
this is in the
Yeah.
upper echelon of
like, C. What do you even call this? B class.
I would call it C+.
this is like the overarching.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta say, like, Hallmark is lucky to be able to just have every movie that falls under this category called like a Hallmark or Lifetime movie.
Right, because it has
But,
like
like,
a name attached to it.
This is, I think, what I liked about this was like we were saying earlier. It's not necessarily the typical like, she's single, she finds a guy, he's a divorcee, and she wants to find her way into his family. Like, I actually like that this explored a little bit more. It actually went a little bit in a more unique direction.
Yeah,
And
it was like a fairly innovative
I would watch it,
idea. Like Frosty the Snowman, real guy. Like, I don't know. I
Remember
haven't
the movie-
seen that before.
Remember
like,
the movie Jack Frost with Michael Keaton?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He dies in it and then comes back to life as a snowman. It's kind of different story. But kind of reminds me of that a little bit. And like someone said on the movie on Letterboxd, the movie thing, they said that it's kind of like a dollar store version of Just Friends. A little bit.
Yeah, like Dusty Dinkelman,
Who's in
And,
Just Friends? Is that the one with Mila Kunis?
Ryan Reynolds.
Anna Faris.
That you're thinking of Friends with
Benefits.
That's a good movie.
Same shit.
This is the one with Ryan Reynolds, Amy Smart, and
Anna Faris.
Was that a Christmas movie too?
Yes.
Oh, I
It's
vaguely
like
kind of remember that.
Christmas time, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a
So,
good movie.
but yeah, I think that I was pleasantly surprised. It's an hour and 27 minutes. Can't go
Totally
wrong.
doable.
It's free on Tubi. You just gotta watch a couple commercials. Some Dupixent commercials. So
The commercials weren't that overpowering.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
like it didn't take up
There
too
was
much
like probably
time.
3
'Cause they put
chunks
them
of
all together.
commercials. Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah, I
guess
think
that's
that's
a
a good
wrap,
place to
right?
stop.
A
The
wrap.
first episode. Oh,
Oh shit!
I like that.
Well, tune in next week
Yeah,
when we find our next victim, whatever that will be.
yeah.
But yeah, Snowmance. Who would have thought? Decent,
Who would have thunk?
the holiday
thought?
fun movie.
Thank you for listening. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Ho ho ho.
Ho ho.
Beach.